Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, and today we have postseason football upon us. That gives us two feelings. Number one, the excitement of the NFL postseason and how great playoff football is. But then you have the dread that knowing that once it's over, you got no football for like 9 months. So for me, I'm really excited, but I'm gonna hate it once football is over. But I think that we have on deck the best postseason that we've had probably in the last 5 to 7 years, maybe even longer than that. The last playoffs that I could remember being really damn good and having good games all around was the 2014 playoff year. And obviously, if you're a Cowboys fan, you hate that year for given reasons. But it's a year where anybody has a given chance. And that's, in my opinion, when NFL football is at its best. When you don't know what's going to happen. So, I'm going to go through each of the Super Wildcard Weekend matchups, talk about how I think each matchup's going to go, who's favored, who I think is going to win. I am in a pick'em league in the playoffs. I squeaked in, so I'm going to try and do my best to get them correct. So, with that being said, make sure to leave a like on this video. It does not take long to do, people, and if you could do that, that'd be greatly appreciated because it helps this channel out so much. Subscribe if you're new and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on new content like this. And without further ado, let's get started with these matchups. So we start off in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is going to be the starting point for this postseason, and they're going up against Las Vegas. So you have two teams that have not won a postseason game in a while. The Raiders haven't won a postseason game since 2002, and as for the Bengals, they have the active longest streak to not win a postseason game. And damn, I think it was 1990 the last time they won a playoff game. And ironically, it was against the Raiders that this streak started. So, there is a chance for Cincinnati to finally get over that hump. And I think they will. When you look at both these teams, the Raiders, I'm not trying to be insulting towards them, but they squeaked into the playoffs winning these close games. And I will say that is important. You winning close games is going to determine how you handle pressure in the playoffs. But for Cincinnati, Cincinnati's coming in red hot. Now, obviously, they already clinched stuff, so they rested guys for that final game of the season, so that could play a factor. But as for what the Raiders have done, the Raiders have gone through and to, start off, I think they started off 3-0 if I remember, then the whole fiasco with John Gruden, and then they get back on track and make the playoffs. I gotta commend Rich Bisaccia and what he was doing there, the fact that, look, the Raiders, I felt like were going to make the playoffs, then they started crumbling like we kind of thought they would after the whole Henry Ruggs thing and John Gruden thing, but for them to stay in the mix of things is great. They have a winning formula, they have a solid team, so I think when I say, they squeaked into the playoffs, I'm not saying that as an insulting way that they are a terrible team. It's more so that they've earned their spot, and it's funny how that final game went against the Chargers because, oh my God, I would have loved to see a tie for both of them to get in. But the Raiders are going up against a Cincinnati team that is high-powered, and it comes down to this. If Cincinnati comes and plays their A game, they will take care of business. As for, I almost said Oakland. As for Las Vegas, it's simple. Keep the ball out of Joe Burrow's hands, play keep away, and put up some points. If you can do that, you'll win this football game. Now, when I look at the line for the game, as I pull it up here, it is +6. And the fact that Cincinnati is a 6-point favorite is a bit high for me because I think that, when you look at how this game's going to go, I think that this could possibly be like a 4-point, 3-point win for either team. But going with my gut, I would say that Cincinnati gets their first playoff win since 1990, and the Raiders go home. But if you're the Raiders, you can't be upset with given the season and how things went. But yeah, look for the Bengals to win that playoff game. So next, we have the AFC matchup of the weekend, in my opinion, and that's Bills-Patriots Part 3. You have a divisional game in the postseason. Those are very fun. I think those are when you get the best type of playoff football, and we're going to see it this time around. I think that The Bills come in, they have an explosive offense that can put up points, and their defense is young and getting better and better. Meanwhile, you have New England, which has the lineage of good playoff success of recent, especially with Bill Belichick at the helm. And, you look at what's going on here. And I think if you are the Patriots, you come into this game and you're saying, listen, we beat them before. We just got to keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hands, make him make mistakes. But more importantly, we got to play keep away. I think that if the Patriots want to win this game, they have to keep the ball out of Buffalo's hands offensively. And if they do that, they'll win this football game. But the Bills have been playing a lot better going into the postseason, and I think that rings true even in this playoff game. Sure, the Patriots do have the ability to land an upset here, and this is going to, be a down-to-the-wire type of game. But I think the Bills take care of business here. I think that the Buffalo Bills walk out of this game with a win, move on to the next round. And listen, if you're the Patriots, can't be upset. You had a rookie quarterback. A lot of people did not expect the Patriots to be where they're at right now, especially when they went on that 7-game win streak. But yeah, I think that New England will be going home early this January. So I'll be taking the Bills. And as for the 4-point spread, I think they'll get that. So next we move into the Sunday slate of games, and we start off with Eagles at Buccaneers. And this is going to be an interesting matchup to say the least, because you're having a team in Philadelphia who was written off dead, and now here they are in the postseason. But look, you look at Tampa Bay and you say to yourself, okay, they're an 8.5-point favorite as of this recording. Is there any way they can lose this game? And yes, they can. I think that people that are taking the Eagles shouldn't be laughed at. I think that the Eagles have a chance to definitely win this game. They have a team that can run the ball extremely well, and defensively, they need to get to Tom Brady. The last time they played, they did not sack Tom Brady. And, they're not playing the same Buccaneers team. They're playing a team in Tampa Bay that is very weakened. They don't have Chris Godwin. They don't have Leonard Fournette, from what I understand. They don't have Antonio Brown anymore. But yes, they still have Gronk. They still have these other guys on the roster. Their defense is still intact. But if I'm the Buccaneers, I'm very afraid of that rushing attack from the Eagles. And again, the Eagles are playing with house money. No one is thinking that they're going to win this game. But for me, I think when you look at this matchup, it comes down to this. How well does Jalen Hurts play? And can this Eagles run game still continue to work? If Jalen Hurts plays methodically and does his part, the Eagles can and might win this game. Now you might be saying, am I going to be taking the Eagles to win this game? No, I won't. Primarily due to the fact that it really comes down to this. They got Tom Brady on the other side. Yes, the Eagles did beat Tom Brady in the playoffs before. But I think with this particular game, the Buccaneers have a bit more offensive firepower compared to that Patriots team that the Eagles faced in the Super Bowl, and also the Eagles aren't that loaded compared to the last one. I think it's not going to be an 8.5-point spread, though. I think that it's going to be like a 3 to 4 point game, and I think that the Buccaneers barely squeak out a win here versus Philadelphia. And look, if the Eagles win, then you know what? I'm all for the chaos. I'm all for the smoke. Let's see how things go. But I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. So next, we have the Cowboys taking on the 49ers in Arlington, Texas. And this is going to be my NFC matchup of the weekend. And that's because of the fact that this is an old school rivalry that for the first time in 25 years that they faced each other in the postseason. And crazily enough, it's on CBS, which is weird because, number one, I'm glad we don't have to, listen to Joe Buck or Troy Aikman, but if the Cowboys advance, they're going to end up having them. But the Cowboys have not played on CBS for a playoff game in years, and that is for multiple reasons. Obviously, CBS losing the rights to the NFL in the 90s. In fact, the last time the Cowboys played on CBS was the 93 championship game. Um, and, obviously with Super Wildcard Weekend coming back and certain TV deals being thrown around differently, I'm very glad that the Cowboys are going to be on a different network for the postseason. I think it's fun. Uh, and look, it's if you are a young fan like myself, you are going to love this game. We get a taste of playoff rivalry football with the 49ers, and this is going to be a fun matchup. It is the closest of the bunch when it comes to the spread. The Cowboys are favored by 3 points, and they should be favored in this matchup. But the part that, if you're a betting person, and I sometimes like to bet, I don't like the fact of how the media is gassing up the 49ers. That is very, very bad of the media to do so. Why? Because that is bulletin board material. They are picking a team that got into the playoffs barely. And that's no insult to the 49ers. The 49ers are a team that deserves praise because they stuck to a formula that works, especially with the injuries. But the Cowboys were a team that was also injury-riddled, and they managed to get 12 wins. And no one's talking about the Cowboys in any good light. So, for me, that's one of the reasons why I'm less inclined to pick the 49ers. Now you go to the historical matchup along with the Cowboys' recent success. So, in the matchup, the Cowboys are 5-2 all-time versus the 49ers, and they are 2-0 at home. They have not lost at home whatsoever. Now, that could change, but number one. Number two, the Cowboys, since the year 2000, when they have won their last game of the season and they've clinched the playoff spot, they have won their first playoff game, and that still rings true. And even and that says the same thing about when they lose. When they have lost their last game of the season, they have lost in their first playoff game. So I, for one, I'm picking the Cowboys for those reasons, but also because the Dallas Cowboys have shown that they can win more ways than none. They are a team that if they get hot at the right time, which they have won 5 out of their last 6 games, they are very scary, and they have shown that they can win defensively. Yes, I know they were playing the Eagles B team. I'm aware of that. Everyone's aware of that. But guess what? They put up 50 points like they should have. And I think that the Cowboys getting back on track offensively, you kind of saw it over the past couple of weeks. And I think that they'll be ready to go. Do I expect Dallas to put up 30-plus points? No. I expect this to be a close, hard-fought game, but I do have the Dallas Cowboys emerging victorious and moving on. But do not be surprised if the 49ers really put up a fight. If they manage to get a run game going and they get on the Cowboys early, they could win this game. So, give me the Cowboys to beat the 49ers, ladies and gentlemen. Do I really need to say anything more about this matchup? Chiefs, Steelers. It's Big Ben's retirement party. The Chiefs will win this game. The Steelers are outmatched offensively and defensively. Sure, they can maybe slow the Chiefs down, but they got destroyed by the Chiefs last time around. Nothing to change here. I'm going to take the Chiefs. So then we go to Monday, final game of Super Wildcard Weekend, and we have the Rams taking on the Cardinals at home in SoFi, the home of Super Bowl 56. So, question is, who's coming out of this game, and who's moving on, and who's going home? So, both teams really have an argument for why they shouldn't really the Rams have shrunk in the big moments, specifically due to Matthew Stafford, and as for the Cardinals, they have collapsed from the number 1 seed at 10-2 all the way down to a 11-6 record now. So, I mean, when you think about it, they're getting their guys back. As for the Rams, Matthew Stafford has yet to break the mold of him being Matthew Stafford. I understand that he was in Detroit all those years, and people were saying it's not his fault, it's Detroit's problem, which part of it was them. But he has yet to break that mold. He just looks, and I when I say this, I don't mean to be disrespectful for Matthew Stafford, but Matthew Stafford just reminds me of a great version of Kirk Cousins. He's very good. But when he gets into those primetime moments, he shrinks. Now, he has had a really good year this year, and he definitely can win this game. but Matthew Stafford has yet to prove that to me. As for Arizona, Arizona has the tools to win this game, and I think they will win this game. And because, look, the Rams have been playing very inconsistent over the past couple games. They're 1-4, I believe, in the last 5 games. But as for the Cardinals, they are also 1-4 in the last 5. Like, they have not looked good in the final stretch of the season. So, with that being said, obviously it comes down to how the Cardinals look. If you're the Rams, if you get to Kyler Murray, he gets frustrated. He's a terrible leader because he has the body language of that when he gets sacked or something happens to him, it's always his receiver's fault. That's why I don't like Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a guy where if the Cowboys play him again, I hope they beat the crap out of him. And they really shouldn't have won that Cowboys game. It was the Cowboys that lost that game more than the Arizona Cardinals won this game. I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I think that they'll take care of business versus the Rams. And, I don't know. I think that you could really look at it either way, but I think that this is going to be the most disappointing matchup of the bunch because it should be on paper the best matchup. But no, I think that one of these teams, knock out a division rival, that's cool and all, but I'm going to go with Arizona. So there's that. And with that being said, that concludes the picks for this upcoming Super Wildcard weekend. May this be a great postseason because I'm telling you, man, this has been one crazy-ass regular season. So let's see what the playoffs have in store. And, yeah, let's hope I go 6 of 6. And if not, oh well. I'm bound to get one of these picks wrong. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.